welcome to Rockin' Country Radio on your Friday Eve. And yes, I'm one of these people. I don't call it Thursday anymore. I call it Friday Eve because we are on the cusp of the weekend. Hello and welcome. My name is DJ Delta Dawn, as some call me. Some call me Dawn Mac. Call me whatever you want to call me is fine. And I'm so excited to be here with you this evening. This is kind of a brand new show here on Blog Talk Radio. Not brand new to us because we have a whole family of radio music shows that we do, but this in particular is new because we are now catering to the country music audience. Our show features hot new country that you're hearing on mainstream radio, but we really like to get the people that have yet to be on the radio, that are just on the cusp of being discovered and are gaining a huge following as they're working their way to stardom and fame. And we really like to appeal to the indie country crowd and the artists. There are so many out there, and tonight's guest is no exception. I want to give you a little background on them. They have been burning up the road, playing bars, festivals, speedways, and arenas pretty much all over the place. And they have a blue-collar attitude and high-energy sound that has excited fans from Michigan to Southern California and even as far away as Germany. Wow. And undoubtedly, they continue to energize traditional country music fans as well as people who have never thought they would ever listen to country music. But they've also gotten the attention of a couple of well-known music artists, Lady Antebellum and the Eli Young Band, who follow them on Twitter. So you know these guys are serious business, and obviously they have gotten the attention of the country music mainstream crowd, and they are, I say it won't be long, and they will be on the radio. And they've got a great new single out that is called Want It With You, and we will be playing it a little bit later in our show. But our guests tonight are comprised of Jason McNabb and Eric Wicks. We want to welcome Marshal Reign to our show. Hello, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's great. How are things with you guys?
Very, very good. We just landed in Phoenix. We just literally checked into the hotel, so it was perfect timing. We're so glad that we caught it.
Wow. Well, I'm glad everything worked out for you guys to be on. I know, I was looking at your site, and you guys are booked all over the place. I don't even know how you had time to do this interview tonight, but thank you so much for carving out a little bit of time in the midst of it all to just chat with us for a few and to give us a little bit of idea of what's been going on of late and what's to come from you as you go forth.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us. We're super excited to be doing this with you, and thank you for reaching out to us and starting to play that single. It's awesome. The Twitter support that we've been getting in the last couple of weeks has just been overwhelming. And we've been busy doing the album, getting it ready. We just put out that single, like you said. We've got another one ready to drop in about 3-4 weeks likely, and then the album to follow August 1st. So that's basically that's what we've been focusing on the last few months, apart from the tour schedule.
Right, and we're fortunate enough to stay busy enough,
Oh, yeah. And how in the world, because when you're on tour, that can be grueling in itself. I mean, you're slam busy all the time, traveling and touring. But how in the world do you work in time to release a single here and there and even to work on an album? Because I know a lot of artists, they kind of, they put time aside to do that. They'll go in the studio and come off the road. How have you been able to balance it all?
Yeah, I mean, we because we chose to do this for a living, we haven't been able to take that 6 months off to record an album. It is our, we kind of put our heart and soul into it, and we're on the road every week just trying to build up that fan base. Mm-hmm. So what happened is we just, said, let's just do it ourselves. So we produced it ourselves. Some of the tracks were recorded in hotel rooms or studios, in Phoenix or Nashville or Las Vegas, Denver, just wherever we could get in. We would take our Pro Tools rig in there and just cut tracks whenever we could and mix it in the hotel. And, on those days that we are back home, we are able to sit down in our own studio and put the polishing touches on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I must tell you, to give away that little secret of how you guys have been cutting these tracks, the single Want It With You sounds so good. I mean, it is professionally done. It's a great sound, great message. And I guess I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about this background of this song because it's a great song. I mean, a lot of people can identify with it. We are enjoying playing it, and we're getting a lot of feedback here on our show. But talk a little bit about how this song came to be.
Well, I think it's just, at the beginning of every relationship, it's just so exciting. And I guess, I just wanted to put a song out like that kind of explains everything.
It's like the honeymoon phase of a relationship.
Yeah, the honeymoon phase of a relationship where there isn't anything that you don't want to do with that person. You want to spend 24/7 with them. It doesn't matter what you're doing. So, that's kind of what was behind that.
And that's so what I've got out of it too. And it's interesting because not only does the song have a great message that just about everybody that's ever been in a relationship can totally identify with, but the song I found is catchy. Like I've found since I've started listening to it more and more, and especially with playing it on the show here, it's one of those songs that kind of gets in your head and it won't go away. It's just that hook line, "Want It With You," the chorus over and over, and I think that, for me personally, has what's resonated and has, it kind of becomes a standout song. And I'm sure for a lot of other people who have heard it, it's kind of the same thing. What do you think? Are you getting that kind of feedback on the road?
Yeah, that seems to be the general the consensus for that. And, when we, as writers, when we sit down, that's ultimately the goal, is to have something that, sticks in your head after you listen to the song for days and days. And we've kind of been waiting for that.
The next morning is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about being out on the road. You guys, as I was saying in the intro, you've got fans all over the place, even as far away as Germany. And have you actually toured Germany, or have you just had fans stumble upon you?
We haven't actually toured in Germany. I'm not sure how that.
Enough to get over to any of Europe yet.
Yeah, but when we can log into our Facebook stats and stuff like that, and we were just really surprised that there was 100 or 200 of those Facebook fans were from Germany, of all places. So I'm not sure how that came about.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It's really interesting. And with the wave of radio and online, music, you're able to get your music out there on so many different social platforms, which is worldwide. It's no telling where you may acquire fans from, in addition to Germany, as you go forward and you become more of a household name, and people become more familiar with who you are. It's just a given, I think, in this day and age that we live in. And that's one thing I wanted to ask you guys about, because as you know, country music has changed a lot, in recent years. There's a lot more appeal to other listeners, music friends from other genres that has drawn them in. There's a lot of collaboration that's going on with artists from other genres that are really, it's even appealing to them, and they're wanting to collaborate with country artists. And why do you think that is?
Well, I think country music, everybody wants to hear something that makes them feel good or they can relate to, like we were just talking about.
Yeah, the story,
that's what it's about.
Country has always been about the story, and I think what's so cool with the way that country is evolving right now is it's starting to develop a little bit more of a pop edge to it, which brings the younger crowd in. However, it's still keeping that same country lyric format with telling a story.
And I've been a music fan my whole life, and I've had this conversation with my daughter before, but it's just interesting how country now is, you've still got some traditional tenets of country in every song, but a lot of it is so reminiscent. I mean, you've got a little bit of a rock sound coming into play, which kind of reminds me of the 80s hair band days, but then you've got that pop sound that was reminiscent that I grew up with. So for adults my age, it's very appealing to my generation as well as the younger generation, because it kind of takes you back a little bit, but yet it's relevant, and it's the here and now. So it's really kind of cool how it's got a kind of a retro modern feel to it.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of just between Eric and I and also the other guys in the band that we play with. There's just such a wide variety of musical interests between us all. So we kind of just, it gets thrown into a pot and we mix it up, and that's what comes out.
Yeah, I definitely grew up on the old rock, like Journey and Toto and all that stuff when I was younger. And Nick, our bass player, grew up in St. Louis, so he's
got that bluesy thing going on. So.
Well, and you know, that's the thing I love about country music now is there is so much diversity in country music, and it really does allow artists like yourself, you know, all artists in country music to really explore and to be as creative as they want to be, which I think is awesome because it's going to, not only is it going to bring new fans to country music that, you know, never would have listened before or thought to listen, but, you know, it's just, I think it's going to be kind of the music, the go-to music, the genre that everybody is going to gravitate towards eventually.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it's amazing how much it's caught on to mainstream.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it has so much potential for crossovers. I mean, we've seen that, you know, with in the past, you know, with Shania Twain and Garth Brooks and some other, you know, veteran country stars. And then, you know, Taylor Swift has taken it, Carrie, and many others. And it's really becoming now, you know, where it has that ability to cross several different genres, which I think is awesome because it's not, you're not boxed in anymore, which is really a good thing for artists everywhere, you know. Well, let's talk about this album that's coming out. How many songs are going to be on the album?
We are doing 7 tracks, which are already done, and then we're going to throw in some bonus live songs. We've been a band for 7 years, so we decided to put out an album. It's going to be called 7. It's going to have 7 tracks on it, and likely about 3 or 4 bonus tracks, which will be some live performances.
Oh, that'll be really cool, you know, because I love live music. I mean, I love to hear it on CD. I love to be able to download it, but there is just something about, you know, live music, going to see it and hearing it performed. It really does bring artists and fans together like, you know, in no other way, really.
Yeah, exactly. And apart from recording the CD, you know, a lot of work on our days off and stuff does go into the live show and getting that energy across to a live audience. So we definitely, that was a goal for the album, is to have that come across as well with these live tracks.
And we're also a live band. So
yeah, we all played all the instruments in the studio and stuff ourselves, and, you know, we didn't go out and hire, you know, a Nashville studio band, which there's nothing, I have nothing against that, but mostly because of our budget and time constraints, we used our players from our band, and so the fans will get to hear that too.
Well, and I think that's really cool because if fans, you know, are out there seeing you on the road, when they get this album in hand or they download it from iTunes or wherever you guys are going to have it, they'll be actually getting real Marshal Reign. It won't be a substitution, you know, studio musicians and you guys. It'll be your band, which I think is really a rarity nowadays because a lot of artists are kind of going to the studio musician format to when they're making their albums. But it keeps you true to what you're doing, I think, out on the road, and it will show that not only can you do this on the road, but you're taking it into the studio as well. And fans, that's a real treat for fans.
Our doings and our songs than us. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who better to know them, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and not only that too, I think when we are playing some songs, you know, from the record at our live shows, they're gonna be able to hear it exactly as it was on the album because we were the ones in the studio playing it.
Mhm. I know, and that's a rarity, but it's a real treat for your fans because they know what they're getting is the real deal. There's no imitation or substitution there, and that's, you know, and that's keeping the music real as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed. You know, well, with country music being such a real, down-to-earth kind of music that everybody can identify with, and, you know, it appeals to so many people, it's neat that you're keeping that whole studio experience real as well, because I think, you know, aside from any other genre, country music is as real as it gets. It talks about real everyday problems, real everyday triumphs, everything in between. And so to be able to apply that to, you know, your produced product of songs that you've been out there on the road playing, that's just phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. And, you know, this way we're in control of what we're putting out as well.
That's true, and I've often said, for a number of years that I've been doing this is, talked to a lot of indie artists from all different genres, and and that's the great beauty of indie music now. It's not this underground hush hush kind of music that nobody knows about. I mean, it is so vast, and I've been told time and again, indie artists are kind of trying to stay away from labels because they don't want their creativity, to be limited in any way. They want to be able to explore and do whatever they want with their music and put it out when they want. And for diehard fans of you guys, that really means something to those who are out there seeing your shows and who are buying your music, because they don't want you to get boxed in. I mean, that's awesome for some things, but when you can really be as creative as you want to be, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, exactly. We can release a song whenever we want.
There's no rules.
We kind of came up with this idea this week that we wanted to maybe, apart from the album, just to build some momentum with the group, is to release a song, like one track on iTunes or something like that, the first of every month. And we thought that might keep the fans, involved, and the first of every month. And, oh yeah, Marshal Reign's putting out a new CD or a new song, and as we gain more and more fans, they'll hopefully get to listen to the back catalog as well.
Oh yeah, that I think it's, and I love the way that now the way music has changed, that artists are, it used to be in days of old, you waited as a listener, as a fan, you waited for the entire album to come out. I love the fact that artists are releasing a song at a time here to kind of in advance of the album coming out, because it does give, fans and listeners that opportunity to really get something new on occasion. And then when the album comes out, they can just buy the album, and it really does keep the momentum going. And it's another one of those, you don't get boxed into the whole rules. Now, you guys, you're so good and you're so talented, and I'm sitting here thinking, gosh, it's just going to be a matter of time I'm going to see you on the Country Music Awards. I mean, I really believe that you've got so much cred there. And as a band, I mean, there's a lot of collaboration going on within the country music genre now with country artists. I mean, they're collaborating on each other. I mean, you see this a lot in bluegrass, but it's kind of evolving more in country music, like, a couple artists are releasing music together, hit songs. Do you foresee doing that in the future? Is that something you'd like to do if you had the opportunity?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we were just watching one of those country music crossroads a few weeks ago, and we were trying to decide, who would be our dream artist to collaborate, and it was everybody from, Bryan Adams to Nickelback or just whatever. It would be so fun.
Oh, yeah, most
cool.
Definitely. Yeah, and I could see you guys on Crossroads at some point. And I'm sitting here thinking, who would be great for you to be there with? I'm going to think on that one, because you guys are so versatile. Your sound is country, but I can tell that, from your early influences in music, I love the fact that you've kind of added that into what you're doing to give your original sound the sound that it is. And I think there's so many different ways that you can take your music and still be relevant to the country genre, because now country is kind of going in that direction. So it really seems like you are on the right path in terms of what you guys are putting out, and fans obviously are digging it because you've got quite a following on social media for sure.
Yeah, it's just kind of starting to get going, and I think when we do get the album out, what'll be nice too is there is a little bit of a variety on that album. Not everything has the same groove or same feel. One song might have kind of a pop edge, where the next one has more like classic rock style guitar playing, and right down to a country shuffle.
That sounds good. I love the fact that there's variety, and it's going to be something for everyone. So, which will only give you more fans, because your current fans are going to go tell their friends who haven't heard of you yet or heard your music, and it's just going to continue to go from there, I feel sure. So, well, I wish you both all the very best as you go forward. We, of course, will do everything we can here to promote your music, and any new tracks you have coming out, please send them our way. We will be glad to get them on, get them out there so they can be heard. And but you guys are awesome. I can't wait to see what's going to happen for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Well, you guys take care, settle in, enjoy your evening, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you out on the road somewhere soon.
All right, sounds good. You too.
All right, thanks. Oh, we've been speaking with Jason McNabb and Eric Wicks from Marshal Reign, and I want to give you a little bit of information where you can follow them and keep up with them on social media. Just follow them on Twitter at Marshall, and that's just one L, MARSHAL, Reign, REIGN. Go follow them, and you can also check out their website, MarshalReign.com. And if you are a Facebooker, be sure to go to their Facebook page. It's just Marshal Reign. Look them up and like their page. And you can stay up on everything that they're doing, when the new single's going to drop in a couple weeks, and then the new album later this summer. And I tell you, if the album and the next single is if this single that I'm about to play is any indication of what we have to look forward to, oh man, we're in for a treat. And because their current single is really gaining a lot of ground, a lot of radio airplay, and people are excited about it. And it's just a great song, and I tell you, if you haven't heard it, it's going to get in your head. Trust me, it did mine first time I heard it. So I'm going to play that for you now, and this is their latest, Marshal Reign, and Want It With You.
Is this love? It feels like a heart attack. I'm thinking of you and me sneaking out back in the middle of your shift when no
Want It With You, the latest from Marshal Reign on Rockin' Country Radio. And, man, enjoyed our chat with those guys, Jason McNabb and Eric Wicks. Thank you so very much for being our special guests this evening. What a great interview. And if you are just joining us late and you missed it, don't worry. After the show is complete, we'll have the interview available. You can listen to it on our website in its entirety. So, again, we want to say a huge thank you to the guys from Marshal Reign, Jason and Eric, for being our special guests this evening and taking time out of their incredibly busy schedule to be with us. It's an honor to have them here, and we really, really look forward to what they have coming down the pipe as time goes on. They've got a busy summer ahead, so if you're a Marshal Reign fan, get out and see them on the road. Again, go to marshalreign.com to check out their tour dates and follow them on Facebook and Twitter as well to stay up on everything that they're doing. And so that is going to wrap our show for this evening. But before I close, I want to give you some information on how you guys can find us, because we are a fairly new show to the world of country music. But we're so excited to be doing what we're doing. So many great country artists that need to be heard. I mean, this is the platform. So if you are an aspiring country artist out there, or you're playing some clubs, you've written some music, and you've got some stuff in the works, please get it to us. You can email it to us at rockincountryradio@gmail.com. Also go and check out our website, rockincountryradio.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter, Rockin' Country, CTRY Radio. And we just follow us and stay up on everything that we are doing, and hit us up. Let us know that you've got some music. We will be sure to review it, and we'd love to play it for you. We also have a radio station over at radionomi.com, and just if you'll search for Rockin' Country Radio, you'll be able to find us. We are adding a lot of country indie music as we speak to try to get it out there in rotation, and so people can hear it. And so we also do a show not every Saturday night, but just about every Saturday night. We showcase great indie artists and their music, and so we always tweet out what we're playing. So if there's anything that you'd like, you can follow the artist and find out where to get their music. So we are very excited about what's to come. We've got some great guests lined up, some great indie artists that you guys are following. And so you'll just need to check our website, follow our Twitter feed so that you can stay up on who we have coming when. And so that is going to actually wrap our show. Again, a huge thanks to Marshal Reign for being with us, and many, many thanks to all of you for tuning in. And if you're brand new to our show this evening, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you here, and we hope that you will be back. So without further ado, for Rockin' Country Radio, I am your host, DJ Delta Dawn, signing off, wishing you all a wonderful evening and a great weekend, and we'll see you back here again very soon. Take care, all. Good night.